I thought to myself, this is where I want to be. And it is where I want to be. I love it here, and thanks to Jepson, I have a whole different worldview and outlook, and will be a teacher soon.
Just knowing that it was the first school of leadership in the nation made me very curious about wanting to learn more. I knew that I wanted to study history and psychology and philosophy, and I think that the lens of leadership studies really elevated my studies in all of those dimensions. I had no idea what I wanted to major in my sophomore year, and I took my first Jepson class, and I just knew that this was the place for me.
I chose Jepson because it seemed like a fun challenge, and it was a challenge, but it did end up being fun.
Being a Jepson student, you not only get to work with the best faculty in the world, but the lessons they teach you go into every aspect of your life and not only make you a better student and a better leader, but a better person.
Here at Richmond, the leadership school is basically the pinnacle of the liberal arts in that it not only brings together so many different disciplines, but it also connects them.
I knew that I wanted to study psychology, and I was looking for something to complement that, and so I thought that Jepson would be a really great way to kind of round out my interests and expand my knowledge a little bit more in areas not specifically related to psychology.
I chose Jepson because I wanted to understand how to influence other people.
To me, it seemed very empowering and progressive.
And it was something I was already interested in, so I said, gotta go for it.
I chose Jepson because I believe that it'll give me the skills to be versatile and do whatever I want to do after graduation.
I chose Jepson because it really teaches students how to think critically.
The reason Joseph and I joined Jepson was taking a leadership and social sciences class with Dr. Christopher Von Ruden freshman year, which really opened our eyes to the curriculum that you could explore in this school.
Yeah, that was a really amazing experience because we were able to develop close personal connections with Dr. Von Ruden, and we had stayed in contact since. I'm post-graduation going to be working with Dr. Von Ruden in the Amazon, get to see some of his work, and I know Bob stayed in contact with him as well.
I think the biggest idea that I'll take away from Jepson, while I've learned a lot, the most important thing to me is new relationships with both students and faculty.
Just learning to be more compassionate and empathetic.
An effective leader is somebody who can be unselfish.
I have a better understanding today about how deeply rooted many of today's social issues are, and a greater sense of responsibility moving forward.
The importance of empathy and putting ourselves in other people's shoes to affect positive change.
Critical thinking with Dr. Chula really imbued in me the skills of reading, writing, and thinking well, and I can't wait to take those skills with me to law school in the fall.
Going outside into the community and doing a police ride-along, doing the food stamp challenge, and volunteering and doing an extracurricular activity.
I've really learned how to evaluate a problem from a variety of perspectives.
Everyone's going to come to life with a different opinion and a different perspective.
Leaders must complement their followers' personalities and really tailor their style to the situation that they're dealing with.
There's no set formula for how to be a good leader.
Through Jepson, I've learned that it's not only important to be aware of global social injustices, but also to seek them out actively in your own community, because that's where activism begins.
I interned in the White House internship program under the Obama administration. Obviously, it was such an amazing and unique experience, something that I never thought I would be able to be a part of, and Jepson definitely brought me there.
I interned at the Arlington Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court.
I interned at Mass Challenge in Boston.
I interned at Frank PR, which is a New York City-based PR firm that focuses on the entertainment industry.
I interned for Credit Suisse in their New York office in their Human Resources, Communications, and Branding division, and I'll be returning there full-time after graduation this spring.
So this past summer I took part in an internship in Melbourne, Australia for a company called Galactic Distribution.
I interned at Discovery Channel in Los Angeles, and I really learned a lot about group dynamics and how you have to trust and really respect the opinions of the people you work with.
For my Jepson internship, I was a Mellon Scholar at the Library Company in Philadelphia, where I researched early African American history.
This past summer, I interned at Madison Square Garden doing media planning.
I interned at Genworth Financial here in Richmond, and I was a project management intern in their long-term care division.
I interned at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in pediatrics, and it really taught me that in high-stress situations, leadership is never what you expect it to be. Sometimes it comes from someone you don't expect, and sometimes it comes from yourself, and you kind of just have to go with it and hope it sticks.
This past summer, I worked with IT for Causes here in Richmond as a business development intern.
I interned in Cape Town, South Africa for an NGO called Police Abafazi, helping women and children against violence.
I interned for the International Justice Mission, which is the largest human trafficking nonprofit organization worldwide, and it is headquartered in Washington, D.C.
I was a regulatory risk advisory intern at KPMG in New York City.
I interned at the local government management agency in Dublin, Ireland. And before I applied for the job, it never crossed my mind that I don't know anything about Irish politics. So I think the thing that I learned about leaders was that leadership is not just a competition, it's not just a struggle for power, it's a learning process. And often the best leaders are those who have taken the time to learn the most.
I'm currently doing my Jepson honors thesis on the gender wage gap in for-profits versus in non-profits, and so far I found that the gender wage gap is actually bigger in non-profits than it is in for-profits, and I want to know why.
My research involved investigating how different people of different socioeconomic backgrounds reacted to traditional leadership differently.
My final thesis performance will be in April, and I'm comparing Shakespeare's Macbeth using his classical text with the historical figure of King Macbeth, which is very different. And the performance is including aerial silks.
We're in directed study with Dr. Kristen Bazar, where we look at African Americans in cinema, and my portion is looking at how African Americans have moved from being villains in film to heroes.
And I'm looking at the evolution of interracial relationships and how that's changed over time. So recently we've watched the Star Trek episode with the first interracial kiss.
I've been lucky enough to be conducting research with Dr. Hoyt and Dr. Allison in the psychology department on heroes, leaders, and gender.
I looked at satirical news, specifically the leadership potential.
So I'm going to look at honor codes and take a look at all of the different practices that are out there.
We're looking at whether or not consumer knowledge of negative campaigns, such as commercials, actually affects their consumer behaviors.
My independent study is a partnership with the University of Richmond and the Chamber of Commerce to get students into the city.
My research is about the intersection of communication and leadership.
I've conducted research on topics such as mindsets and wealth inequality. And I'm just so grateful to Dr. Hoyt and to Jepson for providing me with so many research opportunities.
After graduation, I'm hoping to pursue becoming a reporter for a magazine, and because of my double major with Jepson and journalism, I've been able to learn some problem-solving skills that have been really crucial to my work at the Collegian and in my internships at the New York Observer and Harper's Bazaar.
I had a great internship in marketing and retail this past summer in New York, and I'm hoping to continue down that path after graduation.
After Jepson, I plan on working for a government consulting firm in DC.
I'm hoping to go into the field of creative advertising.
I will be working in human resources at a government agency.
I'm not really sure what exactly I'm going to do after graduation. I really want to work in California.
After graduation, I hope to get a PhD in clinical psychology.
I'm looking for a job in the financial industry. I actually have a hedge fund job lined up.
So I'll be working as a strategy and operations analyst at Deloitte Federal Consulting in Washington, D.C.
I will be working in Baltimore at Stanley Black & Decker in the Leadership Development Program as an HR generalist. And the way that Jepson really helped me get that job is that was actually my internship.
So I'm going into the medical field after graduation, and this wasn't something that I originally planned on doing when I started my Jepson major. However, I firmly believe that if I had chosen any other major, that I wouldn't have figured out that the medical field was for me.
If I could sum up my Jepson education in one word, I would probably choose enlightening.
Individualized.
Eye-opening.
Inspiring.
Invigorating.
Worthwhile.
Insightful.
Life-changing.
Unique.
One word, that's so hard.
One word.
That's kind of hard.
I guess if I had to pick one word, I would go with diverse.
Challenging.
Engaging.
Eclectic.
Captivating.
Integrative.
Hardworking. Exciting.
Thought-provoking.
Fun.
Empowering.
Community.
Wonderful.
All-encompassing.
Dynamic.
Confidence building.
Self-directed.
Spontaneous.
Nuanced.
I want to say something about writing papers, but
Collaboration.
Innovative.
Enriching.
Kind of like a family, because everybody just kind of loves everybody and they're so ready to support you whenever you need something, whether it's academic or non-academic, they're always there for you.